Hi friends, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Janice. Welcome to Quilting Outside the Lines. Today I wanted to talk about my whips and my plans, tentative plans for the year 2026. I'm starting small and deliberate, intentional, because, I don't want to overpromise. But I do want to show you what some of the whips that I have. Some of them you've seen before, some of them you've not seen, and so yeah. So this, before I go to my whips, I wanted to show you my Franken Happy Planner, where I put together several pieces of planners to come to this one, and the plan I have. So I did January, I used a bunch of stickers and so on. And yep. All right, so for the month of January, I'm going to be taking it really slow. And I feel like I'm messing up already, but I'm gonna keep going. All right, so let's talk about whips, work in progress. So this one here, this is the latest, well, one of the latest whips. It is my son's graduation quilt that I made from one of the 3 yard quilt books by Fabric Cafe, and he chose the fabric, but when I made it I felt it was too small, and so I have added some fabric to it, and then the fabric I wanted to put around the final border, which is this fabric here, I didn't have enough of it. So I went searching for it and online, and I couldn't find it. And then I heard about the Quilted Twins. A company out of Florida, and I ordered this. So this will be the final border for this. And then I bought the backing from Soft Squares. So I'm going to show you that now. So this will be the backing for this. All right, so this is the final border. This will be the backing, and then I'm going to take something out of my stash for the binding. And my goal is to complete that quilt and send it off to Sassy for long arming for me. So that's one whip, and then this one is one that I'm making for my baby cousin. It's a panel that I found in a thrift store, and it's a little book. So it's a little book about counting, and so these are the different parts of it. This is the front cover. It says Numbers in the Jungle by Lindsay Sagar or Sagar. And then this one. And this gives you instructions for putting the, oops, I have it upside down. this gives you instructions for putting the book together. So I'm pretty excited about this. It's going to be the first time I'm making a quilted fabric book, and I'm pretty excited. Give me a second, please. All right, I'm sniffling a little, so I apologize. Not sure if I shared this. I think I did share this, the haul of this from Soft Squares. So I think I did share it with you. I'm not sure why it's still in the box. So we'll get rid of that. And this packet from Soft Squares, I bought it early last year, and I don't know if I shared it with you, but it has a Seam So Easy seam guide, which I bought for my antique vintage machine. And it has a dog ear clipper tool, which is great for half square triangles, cutting off those dog ears, and also flying geese. So there's that. And I got this charm pack, Sweet Freedom. This magnet, and this fabric, Patriotic Red, White, and Blue, and this 3-yard quilts for kids book. And of course, so that's 2 boxes, 2 Soft Square boxes that I can throw away. I have another one. Oh, I'll talk about this. All right, so another work in progress is the Cotton Cuts Tree of Life Autumn Shades. The quilt top is completed. So is it a whip? I don't know, but it needs to be sandwiched and quilted. So this, I'm hoping to get this done this year as well. And then this is the Cotton Cuts. See if I can find anyway, this is the Cotton Cuts Flyway. I don't have the little booklet in here, but that's what the fabric looks like. And yeah, so the ones that are finished are in the bags, and then these are to be done. And I purchased the backing for this quilt, so this will be the backing. So this one needs to be done, and I'm going to be working on this quilt along with my son's quilt in January. And so there's that. All right, I purchased this kit from Lynn at Soft Squares, and it is the Riley Blake Block of the Month kit for 2025. I think I did 2 out of the 12. This, I don't know what the fabric pieces are for. I'd have to look, but they're all labeled. So that's one. And I have this big container full of smaller pieces. And that's it. So this is a project that I hope to work on in 2026, but if I don't, fabric won't spoil, right? It will stay. I have all the patterns printed off and in a folder, and I will get to it. So that's this kit. All right, this you're familiar with. It is my dad's quilt. I made the quilt top with a sew along with the quilted forest, and well, I have flannel on the back, and I'm hand piecing. I mean, not hand piecing, hand quilting, big stitch quilting. So you can see the stitches there. I have done, of the 12 of the 12 blocks, I may have completed 4. So I do hope to complete this and get it to him before his birthday this year. His birthday is in December. So that's this one. And trying to fold as I go. All right, I have this little butterfly embroidery that I am kind of practicing some stitches, trying to remind myself how to do embroidery. And I have more. Okay, there's this one, which you all should know if you've been watching my channel. This is the one for the healthcare professional. It's pin basted, and I started quilting one section of it. If I can find it. Okay, here it is. So I quilted this section on the machine, and it was a pain because the throat of my machine is very small. So now I'm thinking I'm going to pick out all of the stitches and then hand quilt. So this might be a next year project. So this one still waiting to be done. I will get to it eventually. I saw something on Facebook this evening from a quilty page that said you are not behind. You're not behind. So even if you're not finished, you're not behind. So if this hobby is meant to be, you know, fun and a stress relief, and so I do not want to make it stressful by giving myself unreasonable deadlines and so on. So there is this. Folding again, so the packing up is not so painful. Okay. I wanted to show you guys this bag. This is one of the very first things I sewed when I purchased my machine back in 2019. This is from a skirt. This fabric here is from a skirt that I had that could no longer fit, but I loved the material, and I made this tote. Very first thing I sewed. There is a little 4-patch pocket on the inside. Cute, right? So this is not a whip, but I wanted to show you one of the first things I ever made. So I love, love, love this fabric. Pretty. Alright, this is a black and white charm pack quilt top. It is finished, and I did want to maybe put some applique on it and then quilt it and donate it to the NICU. So this is gonna be a NICU quilt. Okay. This was a sew along with Sew Be It quilts. I believe the pattern is her pattern, and I have the backing flannel for the backing, and this is what the block looks like. So again, this is another future project. I made a list of things that I want to hand quilt, whips that I want to hand quilt, and whips that I want to send to the Long Armor. And I've been sending my quilts to Stephanie Harris, Memoirs of a Long Armor. So yeah, she does a fantastic job. All right, this one is another one. This is my chandelier quilt. All right, so this quilt top is finished, and so this is the quilt top. And this is the backing for this. So this is the backing. And then I'm going to show you my two of my first ever quilts. I got the idea that I wanted to make a rainbow quilt, and I used thrifted fabric, and not all of them are cotton. Some of them are parts of sheets, some of them are poly cotton, but this is my rainbow quilt. So I hope you saw that. It's one of the very first quilts I made. Quilt tops because it's not completed, and there are numerous mistakes on it, but I was so proud of myself. I designed all the blocks and tried to get them all to a particular size. Some of them I couldn't get to the size, so I had to add additional pieces to get the block up to the size that it needed to be. Corners don't line up, but I love it, and I am going to complete it, and it might become a donation quilt. And this is my first attempt at a Bargello, because I was very ambitious as an inexperienced quilter. So this piece here is flannel. This gray is a sheet that I cut up, and the rest are just random scraps. So I'm going to try to show you what it looks like. Again, I'm very proud of this Bargello. There are things, this probably is something, this combination of fabric and color is probably, I would probably never use these again. But back then I knew nothing about any of those things, and I was just trying different things. And so my first Bargello, this will also be donated once it's finished. So that's it. That's it. I'm sure there are other things I could show you. I do have the black and white blocks that I started last year, and I do have the patriotic blocks that I started last year, and I do have the paper piecing project from why can't I remember the company that does the paper piecing project? Can't remember. Legit Kits. And I do have the quilt for my nephew, my cousin, with the husky on it. And again, I'm not putting myself under any pressure to complete any particular quilt this year. Last year I feel like I put, oops, I just kicked the mic stand, the camera stand. Sunday night blues, so I apologize. But last year I made a strict plan for the entire year, and then halfway through the year I was not in a position to carry it out, and it weighed on me. I felt a lot of guilt. So this time around I am not going to be doing that. I'm going to be taking it 1 quarter at a time. I am going to be doing one new project this year that as of right now, and that is going to be the 12 Days of Christmas. I am not purchasing the kit from Soft Squares. Lynn at Soft Squares is selling the kit for that quilt along, but I did print off the pattern, and I'm going to be using my stash to build that out. So that's going to be in July. That's the plan, to do that in July. So until July, I'm going to be working on the cotton cuts and my son's graduation quilt. He graduates in May. Can you believe it? So that's the plan. That's the plan for January, February, probably March. And we'll take it from there. Thank you so much for joining me today. Tell me what you think. What do you think about these whips? What about you? What are your whips? What whips do you have? What are your plans? What are your sewy quilty plans for 2026? Thank you so much for joining me today. Be kind, walk good, more to come.